know what else I have, Dave?
What?
I think you know because it's on the agenda.
Uh-oh.
ATL on Fire trivia. All right, people.
No.
This is where this is a segment we do on the show where I bring random knowledge to the listeners that you will hopefully try to forget as soon as you listen to it. But
Mikey Dobbs has reached the end of the internet.
I have. So this one's very MLS centric in terms of where the league's going and some trivia questions that are more MLS related than they are Atlanta United. But because I'm excited about the league, I really am bullish around its growth with 2 World Cups coming rapidly in 2026. We'll be here before we know it. In the United States, we'll have a lot of soccer. But in a 2018 poll, Americans favored baseball or soccer more as their preferred sport. And this is in a 2018 poll from, maybe a legitimate poll or not, but
I had heard actually that soccer had surpassed baseball overall as America's 3rd most popular sport. So I'm going to go with soccer.
So this is 2018. You might be right now.
Okay.
It was 7% of Americans cited soccer as their favorite sport, while 9% preferred Americans' pastime of baseball. So that would make sense. I would bet maybe now it's right at the tipping point.
I saw a stat about this, and it wasn't necessarily MLS versus Major League Baseball. It was the overall baseball versus soccer, versus the sport.
And that's where these polls and stats get sticky. But the interesting thing is that obviously soccer is making, we've surpassed hockey.
Yeah.
It's now making a run at baseball. There could be, 5,
and with the
10
lockout
years.
in the baseball season, who knows?
Exactly. I mean, really, baseball just continues to shoot themselves in the foot after the glorious Braves win. They can't figure it out.
Yep.
And, the MLS in terms of franchises that, these billionaires want to buy into, the valuation of MLS clubs is very significant. Do you think the average valuation of an MLS team right now is above or below $500 million?
I'm going to still say that it's below. I mean, it's probably getting up there, but I'm still going to say average is below.
So again, this is from some source. I don't know. I don't even have it cited here, but they said it was $550 million.
Oh, 0 for 2.
And I mean, that's about 5 times more than like a Champions.
You like to make these fine, it's like above or below, and it's like 501, It's tough.
It is tough,
it's good. I like
but
it.
no, I mean, it's about educating the listeners.
For sure.
The English Champions League, the one below the Premier League, the average valuation is probably like, 1/5 of that. Like you're talking like, 100, 200,000 or 200 million at most. So, and then, the big clubs in the EPL are certainly valued,
way more,
3 billion, but actually the ones in the mid-table are about the same.
Well, didn't Roman Abramovich say that, so he's selling Chelsea, right? And he said something like he's trying to sell it for like 15 billion or something. And people were like, you got to be kidding me. No way.
I didn't see that. But no, I mean, even like Newcastle, right? Like the Charlotte owner could have gone out and bought Newcastle United for, he had the wallet to do that.
Okay.
So that's what we're talking about in terms of where the MLS is going.
Going to end up with Newcastle type fans. Right. No, I'm just kidding. Newcastle actually has a really good supporter.
Geordies are good fans.
The team,
man.
The product on the field hasn't been so good, but
it's getting better. They made some moves, and I think they're winning lately, right?
Yep. Almiron's getting a little bit of fortune nowadays.
Between 2012 and 2019, the MLS grew in popularity by more or less than 25%. So you're talking about, a good, 5-6 year stretch there.
So my instinct is to say that it's more than 25, but everything's been wrong so far. So I'm going to go with less than 25.
Oh, you should have gone with more. You should have gone with more. That's 3 duds in a row. It's 27% rise in interest.
Well, that's what I think I would have said. That
According
should
to,
be right.
I got a source on this one.
But I'm like, it can't be right if that's what I think tonight,
Nielsen Sports. Okay. So what was the U.S. men's national team's biggest drought between qualifying for the World Cup in terms of years? How many years went by? That's just kind of a random one in between.
It is kind of a random one. So we qualified in 1950. Mm-hmm. Famous, whatever.
You got the right date.
And then we were absolutely shambolic all the way until I believe it was 1990 in Italy, right? So that would make it 40 years.
That is spot on. I knew you would get that one right. All right. So we had the MLS inaugural opening games, 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
Of course, our Atlanta United crushed it with the season record attendance for the home opener that weekend, which was like 67,000.
Okay.
Who was the second largest attendance on opening day?
Who was the second largest attendance on opening
in the
day?
MLS.
And trying to remember who was at home.
I would not have guessed this at all.
Oh, because then it can't be Seattle. I mean, usually it's Seattle you would go immediately to as the second biggest, whatever.
But interestingly enough, Seattle played this team.
Who did Seattle play? It was Portland who played New England, right? It wasn't. That's the game that was.
That's your lifeline right there.
The desire, the Luscious one. Who did Seattle play on opening day? They lost right on opening day.
They sure did.
Who the heck did they lose to?
Largest attending fans in what could be our rival soon. One of our many rivals. It's definitely
Nashville.
That's correct. Nashville. Mm-hmm. They had
right. That's right. They lost because Nashville's in the West. I always forget they moved to the West now, so they opened up against Seattle. Correct.
So they had like 30,000 fans there.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you, Nashville. And the thing is like I was super excited for Charlotte to have 74,000 people at their stadium. I know a lot of people are proud of Atlanta's attendance. We're going to continue to have great attendance at Atlanta United, but to me, this is why I did the trivia on MLS growth, because the reason I'm doing the podcast with you is I'm just really bullish on the league and where we can be.
Sure.
And the fact that, in North Carolina at a football stadium, you can pack 74,000 to watch a soccer game.
I know.
People should be excited. That's like, and look, they lost, they played above their skis in the game. I watched it last night. But the fact that there's soccer in Charlotte, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was the kid Alvarez who scored a screamer on the opening goal. If you haven't, dear podcast listeners, you have a moment, go check out the first goal from LA Galaxy versus Charlotte. That's a golazo.
I can almost guarantee you that'll be goal of the week, because that
could be goal of the season.
It could be goal of the season. It was truly a world-class strike. Upper 90. Go
left
watch it.
To right, all the way across the ball, all the way across the goal, on a rope, hit the upper 90.
All right, Dave. Thank you for humoring me with another ATL on Fire trivia.
Sure.
We're on to the recap.
I'm always happy to go 0 for 30.
The home opener, we did a podcast. It was fun. We went in and we won. It was kind of, I was expecting a harder game than we actually got from Kansas City.
So here's the reverse trivia question.
Hit me.
How many home openers have we ever won?
Ooh. So, we've only had 5, right?
No, just even in terms of home openers, a home opener every year, right? It's not, we don't always open at home, but we have a home opener every year.
So I'm going to go with 2.
And the answer is 1. That was our first ever home open win.
Wow, you just extended ATL on Fire trivia. Well done.